Welcome back to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. Today we will be previewing the Silverbulletday Stakes at the fairgrounds this Saturday, January 21st. We have a field of 7 3-year-old fillies going 1 mile and 70 yards around 2 turns on the dirt track. This is another Kentucky Oaks prep awarding the winner 20 points towards the Oaks. We have in here a duo of Cox horses who are surprisingly the favorites. Just kidding, you knew that was going to happen. And then we have 5 other girls who have all won on this track, -1. To start off, we have the number 1 Nora G for trainer Patricia West. She was almost a perfect 3 for 3 in her career, but lost by a neck back in December in the Lassie Stakes. Her last race she did win, but only scored herself a 56 buyer. So going from back-to-back 70 buyers to a 56 to me really doesn't intrigue me, especially because her time was 3 seconds slower than her time before. Not to mention, she's never gone around 2 turns before. The number 2 is Cotton Candy Annie, who has the longest odds on the board. She was in the Untappable Stakes with 2 of these horses last month and finished behind both of them. So that right there makes me not like her. She has also never won at fairgrounds. She has already raced 8 times in her career and has already been claimed by Kenny McPeak. And if Kenny McPeak doesn't like a horse, I just don't really think it's that good at all. The number 3 is Hey You Never Know. This horse won a maiden special weight at the beginning of December at the fairgrounds, then came back from the Compton Stakes and got last place. She is the early speed of the field, and I think she's going to get it out of these girls, but I'm just not sure if she's going to be able to hang out. With these 3-year-old fillies, you just never know how the pace is going to play out, especially when you have the fairgrounds. That is typically a speed favoring horse. The number 4 is the first of the Brad Cox horses, and that is Alys. Look. In her lone win, it was a maiden special weight, and she was able to go gate to wire, but I don't believe she's going to get the lead this time with the number 3 and the number 1 to her inside. And not to mention, she was on Lasix for that race, and there's no Lasix in these prep races. Flo is jumping off of her, going to the number 5, and Flo is typically Brad's number 1 jockey, so that tells me that he's favoring Chop Chop. I'm just confused where the 3-1 morning line favorite's coming from. I mean, she did run a 75 buyer last time out, but other than that, there's not very much that I love about this horse. The number 5 is your favorite. That is Chop Chop. That is Brad Cox's favorite horse in here. She started out her career going 2 for 2 on the turf, and then they switched her to the dirt in the Alys Stakes, where she finished a nose behind Wonder Wheel. They met up again in the Juvenile Fillies at the Breeders' Cup, where she was actually favored, but came up short, like real short, like got last place. I understand she was wide the entire race and they were blaming Rosario for that ride, but that to me is something you can't really look past, and the fact she hasn't raced since then concerns me. The number 6 is Amber Cascade for Sherry DeVue. She won last time out on this course by over 3 lengths, but that was also a maiden special weight. She is somebody who's going to be pressing the pace. I think she's going to be tucking in behind the number 1 and the number 3. She can get the distance, so that's no question to me. But the one thing that I do want to bring up that I heard yesterday from Mike Somich is that her husband owns part of this horse. So for them to go from 100,000 special weight to drop down to a maiden 50 concerns me, shows that they really don't care if she got claimed. The last horse is Forest Chimes, who has only raced 1 time in her lifetime, and she did it very impressively. She won by over 7 lengths, going 1 mile and 16th, which is great because most of these maidens start out with 6 furlongs, so they had enough confidence in her to try 2 turns for this first time out. She will be closing behind this field, and I don't think that this field is impressively fast. When I looked at her last race, one thing that I did like is that when she passed these horses, she did it very quickly in the stretch. It wasn't a slow close, and I think that's going to be very beneficial at the fairgrounds. Surprise! Harper's here! So with all of that said, my number 1 pick is the number 7 Forest Chimes. I think that she's going to get the best setup, not to mention she has the fastest recent buyer speeds figure in the field right now. I think that these Cox horses are going to be way over bet, and I don't think they are all that great in my opinion, to be honest. Underneath, I'm going to go with an exacta box with 3, 6, 7 and try to beat out the Cox horses again, and playing the 3 defensively in case there is a scenario where she is able to go gate to wire. A trifecta box, I'm going to add in Chop Chop just in case she comes back amazing. So that is a 3, 5, 6, 7 tri box. Thanks for tuning into the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe, where you find everything horse racing and sports. Comment below who you think is going to win this race. Until next week, good luck.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.